Welcome the prosecutor. Leah, you have the floor.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't have a whole lot for you today.
Right.
My husband was admitted to the hospital on Friday, so I've been a little consumed with that.
Right.
Just got out yesterday. So, I haven't even looked at anything. I left, we were gone and on Thursday. And so anyway, I haven't looked at a lot of anything since last week. Deanna gave me some things to discuss. So if you want to just call over and have Amy check my schedule and just set up a time this week. She keeps that, and that'd be great. And we'll do that on that IOLTA. And hopefully we can figure out on the child support front too, and I can show you the things that we submit. Would you have copies of what was submitted in years past?
We could probably take something.
Well, just so we could see if maybe we're missing a submission, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean, I don't have any idea on that. So, maybe with just a failure to submit something that we're supposed to. The child support girl's the same girl, but I don't know where the prosecuting attorney's fees is coming from, or would have come from in the past.
All I know is they were checks from the state of Missouri. But the treasurer might have some other backup copies of things that got
Okay.
submitted to get that. Or
Okay,
something.
that'd be great, because if it was anything for income, I think I probably just mirrored it from last year, because I didn't have the supporting documentation, so I just assumed it would at least be the same. But if I, like I say, if I'm not submitting something I'm supposed to be, then maybe we could figure out what that is, and then I could submit it. We have not received anything back on, from the letters that I had sent off a couple of weeks ago regarding both the lawsuit and the
Union agreement.
union agreement. Though they did indicate to the sheriff that this was for only the jailers, the jail staff, and not for, in my letter I'd referenced the sergeants and
Right.
deputies. However, their letter referenced sergeants and deputies, so
Right.
that's, I just went in line with their letter and calling them the same thing.
Regardless of who it applies to, the issue remains the same.
Correct, correct. So that is the one thing that I've received back, I guess, in accordance, but not directly to me, it came through the sheriff. As far as the AG's opinion, Mullane is out of town, and she'd given me a private email address, and I received that on Thursday, I think, maybe Wednesday, to send to her so that she could maybe, when she gets to a place where she can check her email, she can offer insight as to the questions, and then get back to me, and hopefully we can that way have it submitted prior to her returning. But I haven't heard back from her on that yet.
Right.
So that's all I have for you. Sorry.
First of all, I want to give you a thank you
Oh,
because
nice.
have spoken to county commissioners from around, and they are just absolutely astounded that our county attorney takes the time to visit with us on a regular basis and actually responds to the things we do. So apparently you're giving red carpet service, and we appreciate that. I know you've been involved with your husband, so I'll just run through the things that are hot button stuff. The Oates contract.
That Deanna had sent.
Right, we need to add an addendum to it, similar to what we did to the Century Tel
Right.
agreement. We need to get that kicked out pretty soon. Our credit card policy, which that's a condensed version of the states, so hopefully that looks good.
The credit card policy, I did review it, and I actually reaching out to the state auditor's office
Right.
based on the seminar that I had sat in last in the spring, dealing with credit card policies, receipts, reimbursements, those sorts of things. And I haven't followed up, and
Okay.
evidently I'm not, I think I may be getting some email to my main terminal, but it's not coming through to my phone. It's
Right.
a big mess, so Deanna has given me some this morning that she evidently has sent to me as well, but
Right.
we have our IT person trying to work through some of that.
Okay, Oates credit card policy, when you get a chance, touch base with the gentleman down in Springfield about the depository agreement.
And I have done that, actually George has done that.
Okay.
And George left me a big breakdown of the things he was checking on for you guys.
Okay.
But he's out of town this week, so he left it on my desk, and I just informed this morning before I got here, so I put it there.
And then the last thing I have, the easement draft that you put together for us, it kind of, I don't like the language in it. It talks about maintenance, and I'm afraid that the way it's worded, people will think that when they grant us this easement, that we are obligated to mow whatever.
So you just want language that indicates that that's what you would be doing there,
We
but
want
not
the
necessarily.
ability to expand the road and then make a pass down the side like we always have with a mower.
But you don't want to be obligated to make a pass on the
Right,
side.
we don't want to be obligated, because if we do, if we end up with a 60-foot easement, you know, say the road is 20 feet and we have 20 feet on each side, we expand the road out to 30, that leaves us theoretically 15 feet down each side. Or if the road stays at 20 foot is at least 2 passes with the mower, and we struggle enough to get, even in a dry year, the weeds mowed 1 pass down the side.
Okay.
So we may, you have that draft still, we may kind of highlight some of the things that we want to tweak a little bit, because we're basically asking for easement to widen the road.
Okay. And I didn't mention that at all.
Right.
Okay.
But we'll make a few notes on that and get that to you.
That'd be great.
Okay. That's all I have, but Jerry is here because he wants to talk about the contract with the municipalities.
Yes.
And wants to share something with us about the special tax collection that we had batted around the idea.
Did you talk to Cindy Davenport by chance? She said she was going to call you.
Nobody talked to me at all.
Okay. There's a statute that provides for, and I didn't bring that with me today because I wasn't sure when we were going to talk to Jerry. A statute that provides for, if it's a special tax, meaning if they've failed to maintain the lawn, or if they, one example that she used in Hawk Point was that a building was left basically inhabitable and was more of a danger to the community than it was anything else, and the owner of the property wasn't taking affirmative steps to rectify that issue while given appropriate time measures or whatever. Cindy provided me with a statute that says, wow, we cannot, not that we cannot, but we originally were under the impression that the municipalities were wanting us to collect for the fines that were imposed based on failure to maintain certain ordinances. That's not it. It's the actual cost that is subjected to the municipality for having to tear down the building, for example, or to mow the grass. And the statute specifically delineates that you are, have the ability, we have the ability to have that as a line item for the costs that actually hurt the municipality. The fine, they would just have to go through their own channels to collect as far as the fine was concerned. But the statute does provide for not only the property tax, but then a special assessment, which would be whatever the costs that were incurred, basically to bring them to code, to bring that individual to code. And so she said she was gonna talk to you directly, and I wasn't sure if she had done that yet or not, but are you opposed to, I can provide you with that statute, I just don't have it with me today, having that, they would submit it the same way that they submit it to you now, except for just have a separate line item on it.
Well, you're gonna have to go in and put that amount on each individual tax statement, which is gonna be over and above what we do. Because our city collection, it's set in there and, you know, it goes on everyone. Now, if you're gonna specifically target one parcel, then you'll have to manually go in and put that on there, which is over and above, you know.
Well, I mean, I guess the nice part is that the county would then receive the benefit of the fee that would be collected on those amounts. And it's not, it certainly wouldn't be the majority.
The county's gonna keep the money?
No, but, you know, we get our
We get our
percentage.
percent. I don't know that we're talking a significant sum of money, though.
No,
Where-
well,
where
like
we would really get a whole,
like the one house, for example, or the building, the cost to them, the cost to the city to do away with it or to tear it down or whatever was roughly like $4,000. So we would get whatever the percentages allowed in the contract, unless we wanted to change the amount specifically, if it's, you know, if it's more burdensome for your office, if we wanted to put in a whereas clause in the contract that says, you know, in the event a special assessment is assessed or is, you know, included in your tax bill, then the rate for that special assessment is X, where the county is concerned to make up for, I mean, she's talking a handful of things, but at the same time, these are people that aren't paying. So if the ability then is to come back in and put a lien on or collect against that parcel, you know, I'm inclined to think, especially since the statute provides for it, as long as your office feels like you're covered from a
We'll have to talk to the software provider too to see what it's gonna take to get that put on. It'll be added on to the statement.
You don't have an ability to do a line item?
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
yeah, talk to the software people and bat it around, you know, if we're at 3% now, if we wanted to say 5% for special assessments.
And I would even be inclined, Dan, to even be higher, because on those special assessments, you know, again, to make up for their time, across the board, I think the municipalities, with the exception of Ellsbury, are comfortable with the fact that they can't collect their own taxes for as reasonably priced as what we are doing. So if it's something that's literally because they're just failing to comply with their own ordinances, I don't feel like that the collector's office needs to be burdened by it.
Right, I don't want to see us, you know, Jerry have to go through the problem of setting up the software to
Right.
make 20 entries. That seems like a lot of hassle. But talk to the software people if you don't mind, Jerry, and just kind of feel it out. But where do we stand as far as getting back the contracts from the municipalities? I know we have Troy signed, sealed, and delivered.
Well, we haven't received back the other, we received back a couple without the changes that when we
Right.
Jerry's, and then
Right.
so I sent the letter back. And then we started talking about, maybe 3 weeks ago, this,
Right.
adding this whereas clause where, you know.
Can we sew up the deal on the contract we had written, and then at some point, if we decide that there is a need, the municipalities that are interested, just add an addendum to the contract?
I think we can. Personally, I think that if we just go ahead and add the clause, and even if we leave a blank as to what the percentage would be, you know, more of, in the event that this happens, you will be assessed blank, so that it's just there. And if we find out that, whether it be Truxton or whether it be, you know, whomever, Chain of Rocks, I don't know, but something occurs, he can then say, you know, having talked to this software company and going through those hoops, you know what, this is going to cost us this amount. So it needs to be cost effective. If the county's only going to receive $300